Hey everybody, Mark Lookout here, coming at you with another deep test training workout. Today I'm going to be doing a shuttle run workout, but it's actually going to be different than what is actually in the program itself. So normally I would have longer space. I'd actually be doing the full 20 meters just like in the beep test itself, but just due to some constraints for today, I'm in a much shorter space, so I think the distance I have between the two cones is, ooh, looking at it, maybe 12 meters or so. So it's going to be a lot shorter. So what I'm actually going to do is much different than what is planned in the program. I'm going to be doing 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off. So for 30 seconds, I'm going to run between the two cones, and then I'm going to rest for 30 seconds. And I'm going to repeat that 5 times. Once that set's done, I'm going to rest anywhere from 3 to 5 minutes, do another 5 sets of 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off, rest again, and then maybe go for 3, maybe 4 total rounds of 5 sets of 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off. Now my goal is try to hit the same number of shuttles on each 30-second set, or be as close to it as possible. So even though I'm going quick, I'm also looking for consistency. I'm not going completely all out for this particular workout. So yeah, that's where I'm at right now. Get this one going. So if I counted right, that was about 9 shuttles. And so my goal is to try to hit 9 shuttles for the next 4 sets. All right, I was short on that one. About 8.5. So let's see what I can do for the rest. So 3 sets in, roughly 8.5 on that last one there. I think I should be good to hold 8.5 for the remaining 2. All right, one more set, and then I'll take a longer break. Minimum 3 minutes after this next set. All right, so that's the first round. So one round, it's 5 sets, 30 seconds, running back and forth between the two cones, 30-second rest. Normally, if I'm doing this particular shuttle run workout, I like to try to have about a 20-foot distance between the two cones, but I'm pretty sure I'm a little bit short of that. Normally, 40 feet is roughly 20 regular steps for myself, and I think today it's maybe 15 or 16 paces in between. So yeah, let's just call it a 30-foot difference or a 30-foot distance between the two cones. I mean, this could arguably be harder than the normal workout I have in the program I'm testing out. So normally it would be a 20-meter distance, but it's 1 minute for each one and 3 minutes of rest in between. So because I only have 30 seconds in between each set in this particular case, I can't go all out right from the get-go. I still have to pace myself accordingly. And because I'm going a minimum of 3 rounds of this particular workout, I have to pay attention to my pacing. I can't go all out right from the get-go. So I want to leave my reserves more towards the end versus deplete it from the very beginning. Now, is there some merit to try to go hard from the beginning and hold on for the end? Yeah, it's not saying you can't do that. It just doesn't teach you how to pace correctly. But it could be a way to sort of teach yourself to hang on as best as you can when heavy fatigue hits you very quickly. So that's actually, this first round wasn't too bad. Legs were holding up all right on that one. But I'm going to start getting set up for the next set or next round here. So I'm going to try for this round, hit 9s or as close to 9 as possible. So on the previous round, I hit 9 on the first, but then I was basically around 8.5 the rest of the way. All right, I hit 9 on the first two. If I keep it up. 3 sets done. 2 more to go. There's 4 rounds there. One more. Okay. Surprising how just trying to get that extra little bit of distance, how much more energy it takes. I mean, for the most part, I hit 9s on all the sets there. I was working for it from basically set 2 onwards. I kind of missed it on the 4th set, but I was still closer there compared to the first round. But who knows? Maybe after that first round, I was more so warmed up, because the warm up I did before all this was just shooting a little bit of basketball, some jump shots, and some layups for a 5-minute warm up before I did my first round. Not the most sufficient warm up, but still got a warm up in. I mean, most of the warm ups I've been doing during this whole program I'm trying has been less than ideal. I mean, everything I've been doing on this program, and I'm on week 5 of it now, 5 out of 6. So I'm towards the end of it. Everything I've been doing has been less than ideal. I'm not sufficiently rested. I'm not getting good solid warm up in beforehand. Nutrition could always be better. Hydration could always be better, but so I doubt I'll be getting anywhere close to level 14 by the time I do the final test on this one. But I was expecting that. So, all right, it's been about 2.5 minutes. I think I'll keep the rest of the time to 3 minutes so far. Uh, round 3 is coming up, and I'll gauge from there what I'm going to do afterwards. Because it's a shorter distance and I'm doing a lot of turns in these rounds, my focus is on acceleration. So like I said, I'm really focusing on the acceleration and my arm drive. Get myself up to speed as quickly as possible and really just striking at the ground, pushing off instead of trying to reach for my strides. That one was a little sloppy. I gotta clean up the starts. That was a little better. Still fell short. That was better on the turns. Sharper. Okay, so that was a rough one. Really working for it. Really had to focus on my technique. It's the turns, for something this short especially, in distance, the turns and acceleration is what's going to be key to try to be consistent. But I'd say I was pretty consistent there. I mean, could I do more than 9 for this particular distance? For one set, sure, but what I'm asking myself to do, it's got to be all spread out. So I've done 3 rounds of this. I'm going to do one more round. I'm going to give myself maybe just an extra minute of rest. At the very least 30 seconds. Check where my heart rate has dropped to, around the 2.5 minute mark. If it's around 130-ish, then I'll just keep my rest time the same as it's been, around the 3 minute mark, considering that this is going to be my last one. So something that you may want to pay attention to as I'm doing this is my arm drive on the start. That's what's helped me get up to speed as quickly as possible. You'll see like I'm really throwing my arms out as I'm taking those turns. All right, my heart rate's still a bit too elevated. I'll give myself an extra minute of rest. Now, since I am doing one more, I think in this particular one, I'm gonna try to do a little bit more than 9 laps for each one. Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can get at least 1 or 2 steps back this direction on this final round. If not all sets, then at least 1, maybe 2 sets. This means I'm gonna have to really dig in deep, really dig into those reserves. All right, I'm gonna give myself 1 more minute. So by the time I get started on this last set, 5 minutes have already gone by, and that did not feel like 5 minutes. Maybe because I've been talking throughout this rest. And sometimes when you're resting, time just kind of flies by anyway. All right, well, I don't think my heart rate's going to drop below 130 anytime soon, so I'm going to get started here shortly. So I think I had about a couple of steps on the way back. That's hard though. So that one really hurt. That one I was holding on really hard. That was more trying to survive rather than trying to thrive. But I did say I was going to try to go out hard and hang on the rest of the way. And it's funny because that first set, I got a couple steps back this way. And even on the second set, I was able to get 9. I had to really work on that second set to get to 9. And I was just really dying by the time I got to the third set. Third set, I was, maybe 8.5 on that one. And then fourth set, I was able to dig in a little bit more. And last set, I was pretty much a step shy of 9. So I still managed to finish relatively strong, but I had to really fight for it. Versus if I was trying to actually pace it out and finish strong, I either could have gone 9 all throughout, or maybe on that last one, get a couple steps in towards this way versus the other way around. And that's normally how I would approach it, but I decided to do it a little bit different on this one. Funny, my heart rate dropped to 130 around the 3-minute mark, versus the last one I was still above 140. Maybe it's because I know I'm all done now. Anyway, if you enjoyed this workout, thank you for sticking with me all the way through to the end. If you got any questions about this particular training that I'm doing, or anything related to your test, just let me know. Drop a comment below. Although I'll admit, sometimes I'm not the quickest at replying back to the comments, but do drop a comment. I will see it at some point. Otherwise, if you want a quicker response from me, you can always email me at marc@rlconditioning.ca. Till next time.